Greetings from the Asian Productivity Organization, and welcome to this APO Productivity Talk. P-Talks are one of the three flagship programs of the APO and consist of a series of discussions and conversations with international experts on productivity-related topics. Today's P-Talk is titled Public Sector Productivity in the Age of AI, Evidence from India. As AI and digital technologies rapidly evolve, their adoption across sectors has become increasingly vital. The presentation will provide an overview of how AI is transforming public service delivery in India by showcasing initiatives undertaken in India to enhance services, increasing citizen engagement, and improving productivity in the public sector through digital tools and technologies. As demands on public services continue to grow, digital transformation plays a crucial role. According to various studies, AI has shown significant potential to improve response times, reduce corruption, and support data-driven governance. The APO has also undertaken several initiatives related to digital transformation. For example, last year, the APO launched the e-course on artificial intelligence in the public sector. Also, in April this year, the APO published a report titled AI and the Knowledge Economy, Transforming APO Members. This report offers a comprehensive analysis of AI adoption and its role in the knowledge economy, providing important insights into patent activity, global product policy trends, and productivity impacts. Now, before we start, I would like to give our viewers a brief profile of our speaker today. Dr. Abhinandan Kulal is an assistant professor of the Government First Grade College, Siddakatte, India. He contributed to several publications, including journals and presentation papers in conference and seminars. Good afternoon, Dr. Kulal, and welcome to our APOP Talk. And thank you very much for joining us today. And we will be eager to learn from your presentation. Thank you so much, and please start anytime you are ready.
Yes. Thank you, Anne, for the introduction. So, welcome all the online participants who are in the YouTube live. So, in this session, I am going to talk on the public sector productivity in the age of artificial intelligence. That is evidence from India. I have done one research on this topic. So, most of my presentation will be the result of that research. So that we all know that artificial intelligence is no longer a distant promise. It is here and it is happening, and it is influencing how public services are designed, are delivered, and governed. But are we ready? And more importantly, are we ready to do this responsibly? Our journey today will go beyond surface level applications. We will explore real world evidence from India, look at the role of digital public infrastructure, unpack national AI missions, and also examine critical ethical and operational challenges. I would like to thank APO and all its member countries for prioritizing productivity in the public governance as a core developmental themes. So next, I am going to talk. So what are the contents are there? So we are going to start with the why artificial intelligence skill matters right now in the public sector, and where they save time, where they reduce backlogs, and make service clearer for citizens. I will then set the context and motivation for India. That is why India is taking up AI mission. Then the scale we serve, the expectation we face, and the urgency to modernize. So we will take a realistic look at AI adoption and maturity across department, followed by actual service delivery effects we are seeing in the waste management, then grievance redressal, and water supply monitoring. From there, we will anchor the discussion in India's national AI goals and MATI framework. MATI is nothing but Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology framework, so that pilot align with policy. We will bring in the roles of deep tech startups and startup India or invest India ecosystem. And I'll share a crisp case study to keep it concrete. We all map this into our digital public infrastructure like Aadhaar, UPI, DigiLocker, ONTC, and recently introduced Bhashini. Before touching the Indian AI mission and key initiative for compute, data, and scales. We will close this presentation with the challenges and ethics like privacy, bias, on interoperability, accountability, and the practical steps that what you can start after completing this session. So I want to begin my session with one quotation by the Peter F. Drucker, the famous author in the management. Peter Drucker draws a simple line for us, like efficiency is doing things right, effectiveness is doing the right things. So in government, we tend to choose the first, like more files cleared, faster turnaround, fewer visits. But citizens feel the second. Like, did the right person get the right service at the right time? So AI can help with both on the efficiency side as well as on the effectiveness side. If you look at the efficiency side, it draft first versions, summarizes bulky cases, then translate notices across Indian languages and trials grievances. So officers spend less time on searching and more time on deciding. So on the effectiveness side, it's a compass using our public digital rails like Aadhaar, UPI, DigiLocker. So we can verify once, target eligibility better, spot leakages, and proactively reach those who might otherwise fall through the cracks. So as we go forward, keep this in mind. We are not adapting AI to add shiny dashboards. We are adapting it to do the right things. Right means with the privacy, with the fairness and accountability built in. In the rest of the talk, I will show where this is already working in India and where it isn't yet, and practical path to move forward from pilots to everyday impacts. So next, I'll discuss why AI skills are relevant now, especially in the public sector. Here is the why. These AI skill matter right now for government teams. First, for faster service delivery. Picture a grievance inbox that auto tracks by topic and urgency. A summarizer gives the officer a 10-line brief, dates, parties, pending actions, and a first draft reply. What look three sittings can move in one. The citizen get clarity sooner, and the file moves without nudging across Indian language instantly. So that means a fewer repeat visit, less dependence on a single clerk, and more dignity for the citizen who isn't fluent in English. And third, integrity and targeting. Simple anomaly detection flags, duplicate beneficiaries, unusual tankers routes, or suspicious claims. So risk scores don't replace officers. They point them to where human judgment is needed most. And the fourth, DPI, that is a digital public infrastructure powered workflows. When we plug artificial intelligence into Aadhaar KYC or DigiLocker, It documents pulls or UPI payments, refunds, or market links via ONTC. So we get end-to-end flows like verify, check eligibility, fetch documents, make the payment, and then notify. Each step's logged. Finally, accountable. So data-driven governance, live dashboards are usefully only with audit trails. Every recommendation should be traceable. What data, which rules or model, or who approved. So we are RTI ready and review ready. So AI here isn't about flashy tech. It's about saving time, widening access, protecting public money, and leaving clean trade. In this context section, I'll show concrete example and a simple playbook to get started safely. Next, we'll see what are the context and motivation for India to implement AI in public sector. So India's public sector serves over 1.4 billion people, which means even a small efficiency gain touches millions of lives. That scale is our motivation and our pressure. Every day, department juggle rising demand, legacy processes, and tight budgets. Yet citizens expect clarity, speed, and fairness. Artificial intelligence gives us a new levers to meet those expectations. It can predict the demand spikes, automate repetitive verification, draft first versions of letters and orders, and personalize communication so people get the right message in the right language at the right time. But let's be honest about where we are. Adoption is uneven. Some teams are already using AI for the file summarizes, grievances tag, and inspection. Others are still experimenting. So you can say recent municipal evidences in India is encouraging. The biggest early wins are in citizen-centric services and municipal processes. Think waste collection routing, ticket categorization, and water supply monitoring. Where we lag is the human side of transformation, the staff training, change management, process redesign, and building trust with the citizens about how artificial intelligence used. Globally, too, fewer than 1 in 4 public agencies report strong data and infrastructure readiness. So the real bottleneck is not ideas, it's plumbing, like cleaning, connected data, affordable, reliable compute, and teams with the skills and guardrails to use them confidently. So we also need to face the digital divide head on. Rural areas still struggle with broadband coverages and device accesses. Many officers lack of steady compute and skill gaps slow uptake. That's why India's digital public infrastructure, Aadhaar for eKYC, DigiLocker for documents, UPI for payments, and ONTs for market links, and Bhashini for language. And there are many other. These rails let small teams orchestra end to end auditable workflow without rebuilding the basics. The motivation for this talk is to bridge promise and practice. Use artificial intelligence to save officers' time, widen access in every Indian language, reduce leakages with risk based targeting, and leave a transparent audit trail that stands up to RTA, Right Information Act we have in India, and audit. So if you get the foundations right, the data quality, compute access, skills, and simple governance rules, so it brings. A can compound the excellence of our people and institution and not to replace it. So next, we'll discuss about AI adoption and maturity. This data showing about India's AI adoption. This is basically from my study. So this slide present two critical aspects of India's evolving AI landscape: the potential for task automation and the current maturity of generative AI, or we call it as Gen A, adoption in organization. Starting with the left hand chart on task automation potential, we say that approximately 24% of existing job roles are classified as fully automated. These include repetitive and rule based activities like data entry, invoice processing, or basic customer support. These statistics align with the study conducted by PwC of India in 2020, which indicated that automation readiness is particularly high in banking, retail, and municipal clerical roles. Further, 41% of tasks are considered enhanceable by AI, meaning that while the task cannot be full automated, AI tools can significantly assist human workers. For instance, customer service chatbots can handle the first tier of support, allowing human agent to focus on more complex issues. So this hybrid model improves both productivity and service quality. And the remaining 35% fall into manual or non-automable category, where human judgment, empathy, creativity are crucial. So this includes caregiving, teaching, and policy making. So domains where AI may serve as decision support tool rather than a replacement. So now turning to the right hand chart on Gen A adoption maturity, we see nonsense picture. Only about 14% of the organizations have moved Gen A tools into full production, while 31% have completed proof of concepts. That means they are just testing it, but not yet scaled them operationally. Another 11% are in the productionalizing phase, actively working on the deployment but facing infrastructural or policy challenges. Crucially, over 39% of the organization have not yet started their Gen AI journeys. This significant proportion reflects deep disparities in the readiness, often linked to lack of in-house talent, fragmented data ecosystems, or regulatory hesitations. Additionally, 5% of institutions report that their data is ready for AI but have not yet begun adoption, suggesting untapped potential where infrastructure is ahead of institutional mindset. Like they are ready, but they do not have infrastructural support. A particularly striking projection comes from E&Y, that is Indian company, India 2025 report, which says that artificial intelligence and generative AI together could transform up to 38 million jobs by 2030 across various sectors in India. These roles won't all vanish. Rather, many will evolve. The productivity uplift is estimated at 2.61% in the organized sector and 2.82% in the unorganized sector, where the basic task automation can yield major efficiency gains in logistics, informal retail, and agri processing. So, in short, India's AI adoption landscape is a patchwork of high ambition but uneven execution. To move forward, we must support POC, proof of concept, to production transition, build internal talent, ensure data readiness, and address regular uncertainty, especially for Gen AI tools that raise ethical and legal questions around bias, hallucination, and copyright problems. And next, we'll discuss about the impact of artificial intelligence on service delivery, because there are already some of the public sectors already implemented AI in the service delivery and how it will impact it. So this slide illustrates the differentiated impact of AI adoption across three dimensions of municipal service delivery, that is citizen centric, municipal process centric, and human centric. The data presented here is drawn from nationwide empirical study published in the Journal of Open Innovation. That's my own study, which analyzed AI-enabled surveys transformations in 116 urban local bodies across India. According to these findings, citizen-centric services are witnessed the most notable improvement with an average relative gain of 87.1%. These services include AI-powered grievance redressal systems, SMS or email-based citizen updates, and AI-enabled help desk. For example, the deployment of AI chatbots led to 63% reduction in average complaint resolution time, and sentiment analysis tools helped in real-time escalation of high-risk cases and improving responsiveness. And in municipal processes such as waste collection, water supply monitoring, and permit processing, registered an average improvement of 76.5% after implementation of AI. In cities like Indore and Surat, route optimization algorithms in waste management led to 25% reduction in fuel wastage and 22% increase in one-time waste pickup compliance. Similarly, smart sensors in water pipeline help predict leakages, reducing water loss over 30% in pilot wards. However, human centric improvements, referring to changes in organizational culture, employee engagement, and training, showed only a 58.9% improvement. The key reason is the lack of structured capacity or building programs. The study found that only 29% of employees had received formal training. This is the big issue in India. And the most institutions relied on external consultants for AI operation. They are not training their employees, they give it the work to outsider. So this creates knowledge gap and hinders sustainable in-house capacity. So most critically, only 25% of the organization reported having advanced AI infrastructure, defined as high quality interoperability datasets, scalable cloud access, integrated dashboards, and automated decision support system. Without these foundational elements, many AI applications remain isolated pilots that don't scale across department or regions. Therefore, while AI is delivering clear productivity benefits, especially in citizen-facing and municipal system, its full potential is held back by low infrastructure maturity and limited staff preparedness. So these findings reinforce the need for investment not only in AI tools but also in fundamental or foundational infrastructure, workforce development, and organizational change management. Next, we'll speak about India's national AI goals or MATI frameworks. So, when we say India's national AI goals, we are really talking about India's AI mission, a 5-year program with rupees 10,000 crore plus outlay. The idea is simple: make public AI compute available at scale, support indigenous model, back startups and skills, and put safe and trusted AI at the center. For a government team, this matter because it will lower the entry barrier. Instead of buying your own heavy hardware, you can access share GPU capacity and curated data sets. Then focus on the use case grievance, triage, inspection, translation rather than on infrastructure. So all of this has to sit on a lawful, privacy respecting foundation, very important, which is where the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 comes in. In practice, that means clear notices and consent were required, purpose limitation, data minimization, reasonable security safeguards, and a clean process for access or correction and grievance redress. If your office handles citizen data, treat yourself as a data fiduciary, maintain a data inventory, define retention period, restrict who can see what, and be ready to act on breach. So if anyone breaches that, we have to take legal action. Next is data governance for public datasets. The draft of National Data Governance Framework Policy proposes an India Data Management Office to set standards so government data is better described, better cleaned, and easier to share for legitimate public interest use. This is not a paperwork, it's a plumbing that lets AI work reliably. If your data has consistent formats and quality checks, your your pilots will move to production much faster. A uniquely Indian advantage is our multilingual layer, that is Bashini. Under the National Language Translation Mission, gives us APIs for speech to text, then text to speech, and translation across 22 plus Indian languages. That means you can publish a notice in Kannada, which is Karnataka language, receives an application in Hindi, which is national language, or which is used in all over India. So, and still keep a single workflow. For inclusion and accessibility, there is nothing more practical. You can adopt this word. On platform due diligence, like MATI's 15th March 2024 advisory, reminded a platform and intermediaries of their obligation around AI generated content, labeling, bias, and risk mitigation, and stronger takedown responsiveness. Even if you are not an internet platform, treat this as guidance. Label generated text internally, keep human in the loop for sensitive output, log prompts, and responses for audits. And be clear about what your model should not be asked to do. Finally, India is aligning with global thinking through a GPAI Ministerial Declaration, which is held in New Delhi in 2023 and the follow-ups in 2024, emphasizing human-centric, trustworthy AI. Why does this matter to district office or public sector units? Because The same ideas like risk assessment, testing before deployment, bias check, traceability are the guardrails that let you scale without surprises. If you build to these norms now, future audits and cross border collaborations become much easier. So, what does all this mean for you tomorrow morning? So, three moves. First one, tap India AI resources, shared compute and curated data sets. As your pilots don't stall for lack of hardware. And second one, operationalize DPDP. Write a one page policy, appoint a data steward, turn on access control and logging. And third one, go multilingual with the Bhashani. Make every citizen facing workflow language friendly by default. Do these, and you will be aligned to national goals, compliant by design, and ready to scale responsible AI where it actually counts on the ground. Okay, and next we'll discuss the role of deep tech startups or startup India, or we call it as invest in India. So this slide explains how India's deep tech startup systems link research to real public sector outcomes. We start with the policy intent. The draft National Deep Tech Startup Policy, that is nothing but NDTSP, is designed to translate frontier research and development into national use products. It explicitly points to the levers you see here: research and development, IP, funding, standards, adoption pathways, and capacity buildings, so that breakthroughs in AI, space, or semiconductors don't remain in the lab but become deployable solution for India. Think of NDTSP as the playbook that aligns the pieces. And next is commercialization for government and strategic sectors. That's the role of the Agni missions. We have Agni missions under the office of the principal scientific advisor. Agni connects innovators to adopters and publishes technology advisory node, so decision makers can quickly grasp what a solution can and cannot do. Importantly, Agni is housed at Invest India. It is a part of Invest India, which means it sits close to the market and enterprise side while still serving public missions. In short, this is the bridge between promised tech and ready for deployment in public sector units or department. Funding then comes into two stages on this slide. Early capital and incubation arrives through the Startup India seed fund schemes. It offers up to 20 lakh for proof of concept and up to 50 lakh for market entry routed via accredited incubators. The message is simple. If a team has a credible idea and incubator backing them, there is seed money to get to usable prototype. For a scale up capital, that slide shows DPIITs, Fund of Fund for Startups, managed by SIDBI. This fund commits to SEBI registered AIFs. It does not invest directly in startups. As of 31st March 2025, the number here are clear. Rupees 11,808 crore committed to 153 AIFs and 1,270 startups supported and 22,942 crore invested by those AIFs. That tells there is a depth in the financing pipeline once the solution is ready to grow. Finally, startups need a guidance and market access. That's where MARG MAARG, the National Mentorship Portal, and Startup India Investor Connect comes in. They provide structured mentor matching and startup investor matchmaking so founders can find the right advisors and the right capital at the right time. So, taken together, policy sets direction, and Agni at Invest India connects investor to real public sector demand, and SISFS gives early fuel, and FFS via SIDBI brings scale money through AIFS. And Mark or Investor Connect add mentorship and access. This is the a stack shown on the slide. How deep tech moves from research to impact in India. Next, we'll see some of the case study, especially public sector organization which adopted artificial intelligence in their service delivery. The first case study about BPCL, that is nothing but Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, which is governed by the government of India, built IRIS, as a digital nerve center that pulls real-time data from 18,000 plus outlets and about 25,000 tank trucks plus depots and refineries. With that unified view, artificial intelligence or machine learning helps in three ways: predictive maintenance to prevent breakdowns, exception management to spot issues early, and foster better decision across the national network. The reported results are straightforward: higher operational efficiency, better service quality, and stronger safety compliances. In short, IRIS turns a vast, complex operation into one coordinated systems. And the next case about Indian Railways, that is AI for predictive maintenance. So railways are rolling out an AI and machine learning, machine vision based inspection system, or we call it as MVIS, to automate checks on rolling stock. So cameras and models spot issues while trains move. Instead of relying only on manual inspection, we can these railways depending on AI. At Danapur, an AI system now flags faults like hot axles, AC failures, and potential fire risk, which has cut inspection and repair time. And in the Eastern Railway, that is Howrah Division, teams are using AI and artificial intelligence or machine learning for proactive fault prevention, shifting from reactive fixes to data driven maintenance. The takeaway: faster detection, fewer surprises, and safer, more reliable operation at scale. The next case about Airport Authority of India, which adopted DigiYatra biometrics. Airport Authority of India launched DigiYatra at 9 Airport Authority of India or airports to make passenger processing contactless using facial recognition. Practically, your face becomes your travel token. So at the entry gate, security, and boarding, the system recognizes you and opens the e-gate without fumbling for papers. The program is scaling with SITAS becoming platform across dozens of airports, which means same experience being standardized at more touch points, faster quiz, fewer manual check, and clearer audit trails. And isn't a small pilot anymore. Digi Yatra has crossed 15 million users with the deployments continuing to expand. The takeaway is simple: biometrics, when implemented well, can move high volume public flows quickly and safely and set a template for other citizens' services. So these are some of the example. There are many public sector organizations they implemented artificial intelligence in their service delivery, but I have given only three. So next we'll move into digital public infrastructure, that is DPI. This slide provides a snapshot of India's rapidly expanding digital public infrastructure, which forms the foundational layer for scalable and inclusive AI deployment. DPI platforms not only reduce transaction and delivery costs, but also generate high quality data that can be harnessed by AI models to improve governance, personalization, and forecasting. Let's begin with the UPI, that is Unified Payment Interface. Like in India, we are most of the customers are not making payment in cash. We can make payment in digitally, like we have Phone Pay, we have Google Pay. So these are called UPI. As of financial year 2023-24 and June 2025, UPI holds 70% of market shares in digital payments, handling over 18.39 billion transactions with 491 million users and 65 million registered merchants. So this makes UPI one of the largest interoperable payment system globally. So more importantly, the vast metadata generated on frequency, timing, geography of transaction can be leveraged for AI-driven financial inclusion strategies and fraud detection system. And next, DigiLocker. India's digital document wallet has reached 32 million users and stores over 3.69 billion authenticated digital documents as of October 2024. With its API success, this platform allows public and private institutions to instantly verify citizens' documents like birth certificates, academics degrees, and license. AI system benefit from this repository through seamless data extraction and verification models, significantly reducing times and errors in service delivery. Then we have ENAM, that is Electronic National Agriculture Market. In 2024, the platform supported 16.4 million farmers across 585 markets, facilitating transaction worth rupees 700 billion. AI application in ENAM can be used for the demand forecasting, real-time price tracking, and personalized advisory services to farmers, especially in the context of climate resilient agriculture. Finally, we have ONDC, like Open Network Digital Commerce, has now expanded to 616 or 616 cities as of January 2024. So it provides an open, interoperable infrastructure for small business to join the digital marketplace. With the data generated across the supply chain, from logistic to customers review, AI algorithms can enhance logistic optimization, dynamic pricing, and recommendation systems for small retailers. These DPI platforms share three key traits: they lower transaction cost, provide APIs for developers, and enable seamless identity payments and document management. All of which are essential for inclusive AI deployment. DPI does not just serve as a digital backbone, it is an enabler of citizen-centric AI service across sectors like finance, education, health, and agriculture. India's AI mission and platform. So next we'll discuss about India's AI mission and initiative. What are the platform they introduced? So this slide outlines a strategic framework of India's national approach to AI development and implementation, led primarily by the India AI mission, which represent one of the country's most ambitious digital innovation agenda to the date. The India's AI mission, India AI missions, has been allocated to budget of rupees 10,300 crores over 5 years, reflecting the government's intent not only to catalyze AI research but also democratize access to AI capabilities across sectors. A significant portion of this funding is being used to establish a national compute infrastructure, which include 18,693 GPUs, of which 10,000 GPUs are already operational. These resources are being made available through an open AI compute marketplace at an affordable rate of rupees 100 per hour. This move is designed to ensure that even a smaller institution like startups, academic labs, or state level department can build and deploy AI solution without facing infrastructure barriers. In addition, the mission has announced creation of centers of excellence COES, creation of Center of Excellence, across critical sectors including healthcare, agriculture, sustainable urban development, and education. So these Center of Excellence are supported by dedicated allocation of rupees 500 crore, and they function as collaborative R&D or research and development hubs involving government, academia, and private sector partners to build domain specific AI solutions that are both ethical and scalable. So India's approach includes four foundational enablers under this national AI stack. The first one you can see in the slide on the right side, data exchange. This is aimed at breaking departmental data and harmonizing metadata standards, thereby enabling cleaner, interoperable datasets for model training. And the second one, service exchange. This allows government services to be exposed via APIs, facilitating third party innovation and integration while retaining regulatory oversight. The next one, AI Exchange. Third one is AI Exchange. This is the platform for building and sharing sector specific AI models, encouraging open innovation while avoiding duplication of efforts. And fourth one is AI governance. A proposed independent regulatory body will provide oversight over both data and models, ensuring a responsible use, fairness, transparency, and accountability in AI deployment. So, despite this progress, only around five Indian states currently have formal AA policy. We have 30 states. Out of 30 states, we only five Indian states currently have formal AA policies in places, which highlights a critical policy adoption gap across subnational governments. On the data readiness front, the country has made significant strides. Over 3,745 datasets and 13,755 public services are now accessible through national data and service portals, paving the way for the AI applications in both central and state level governments. So this comprehensive initiatives places India among a small group of countries that are actively building public digital infrastructure to support AI at scale. So emphasizing not only innovation but also inclusion, accessibility, and ethical safeguard. And the next one, whenever I go to the presentation about artificial intelligence, my last slide about the challenges and ethical consideration. So here also I want to put some light on what are the challenges are there and what are the ethical consideration are there for the AI implementation in the public service. While the promise of artificial intelligence in transforming public service delivery is immense, the journey is fraught with significant challenges and ethical dilemmas, especially in a diverse and decentralized country like India. Let us begin with the infrastructure gaps and digital divide. Many rural and semi-urban areas still lack reliable access to high-speed internet, compute resources, and basic digital literacy. So this creates two-speed AI ecosystem where urban centers surge ahead with experimentation and implementation, while rural geographies are left behind, reinforcing existing social inequalities. As a Indian AI mission scales up, bridging this divide must become a central policy priority. They have to bring the equality in the digital access in both rural areas and urban areas. A second major barrier is the severe talent shortage in AI expertise. According to EY India 2025 reports, 97% of executives reports a lack of skilled professionals who can design, deploy and manage AI systems. This shortage affects both public and private sector adoption, especially when government seeks to deploy complex AI models in sectors like healthcare, agriculture, and governance. Next is the issue of fragmented data or interoperability. Public sector data continues to be isolated across department, states, and legacy platforms. A lack of standardization in data formats and taxonomies limits the ability to build cross-cutting AI models or integrates APIs efficiently. A platform like Data Exchange under India A initiative are promising, but implementation remain nascent. So regulatory complexity and privacy concern present additional obstacles. With the recent introduction of the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 in India, government agencies must now comply with stringent data protection rules, ranging from consent management to data minimization and audit trails. While this is a welcome step toward ethical AI governance, it adds compliance overhead to already resource constrained government departments. Finally, we must consider the slow maturity of AI adoption across states and agencies. While some states like Telangana and Karnataka have launched comprehensive AI strategies, most states lack formal AI policies or institutional frameworks. As per India's AI portal, only 5 states currently have active AI policies. So this uneven adoption leads to duplication of efforts, fragmented innovation, and missed opportunities for national scale AI success. So addressing these challenges requires a multi-pronged approach: capacity building for human resources, infrastructure for investment, interoperable data system, and clear national AI governance framework that balances innovation with ethical safeguard. And next, what is my recommendation to move forward with AI? So, as we reflect on the transformative potential of AI in public service delivery, it is equally important to chart a clear and actionable roadmap that addresses existing gaps and accelerates meaningful adoption. Based on research, expert reports, and national mission goals, I propose five key recommendations that can help unlock India's AI powered governance for the future. First one, we must invest in compute infrastructure and open data ecosystems. The India AI mission has already proposed provisioning 18,693 GPUs with the 10,000 currently available. However, this needs to be complemented with the shared compute facilities across districts and department, especially for tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Simultaneously, expanding access to clean, annotated, and interoperable public data sets will be empower researchers and developers to build inclusive AI applications. And the second recommendation, there is an urgent need to strengthen our digital public infrastructure. Core systems like Aadhaar, UPI, DigiLocker, ONTC must be made more robust, resilient, and scalable. This includes improving broadband connectivity in remote regions and enhancing API layer integration to ensure smooth cross platform functionality. A resilient DPI backbone is foundational for training, deploying, and scaling citizen facing AI solutions. And third recommendation, we must develop institutional and individual competencies in AI. This involves not only upskilling civil servants and public sector officials in areas like analytics, algorithmic ethics, and data stewardship, but also adopting frameworks such as AI Kosha, that is initiative by the government, AI Kosha to guide capacity building. Without adequate human capabilities, even the best infrastructure will remain underutilized. And my fourth recommendation will be we need to foster collaborative ecosystem. This include enabling partnership between government, academia, startups, and civil society. By exposing services through open APIs, public agencies can crowdsource innovation and accelerate service co-creation. The success of DPI elements like UP and DigiLocker shows the power of partnership in driving scale and efficiency. And final recommendation, we must embed responsible AI governance at the heart of our strategy. This means instituting independent oversight bodies, conducting regular impact audits, and ensuring that all critical decisions retain a human in the loop of component. As per India's AI guiding principle and DPDP Act, ethical considerations must be hard coded into technical deployments, not treated as an afterthought. So these recommendations are not merely technical suggestion; they're foundational for building a future-ready, citizen-first governance model that leverages AI to its fullest potential while uploading India's democratic and ethical values. And finally, I want to conclude my presentation. So it is important to emphasize that artificial intelligence and digital public infrastructure are not just technological innovations. They are transformational forces reshaping public service delivery in India across sectors. So we are witnessing tangible improvements, particularly in citizen-centric and municipal process such as waste management, grievance redressal, and utility monitoring. However, the benefits have not been uniformly realized. While digital tools and platforms are advancing rapidly, productivity gains remain uneven. In my study, the data shows that although certain municipal processes have seen up, up to 85% relative important, human centric outcomes still lag behind at around 55%. This gap highlights the critical need to go beyond just technology adoption and focus on organizational transformation and capacity building. Unlocking artificial intelligence full potential requires strategic trifecta: investment in enabling infrastructure, robust skilling programs, and ethical governance framework. Without these, India risks fragmented implementation landscape, uneven service delivery, and difficulty in existing removing digital divides. The India AI mission is step in the right direction. The recent government introduced India AI mission, which is in the right direction. But challenges as infrastructure gaps, talent shortage, notably 97% of executives citing skill deficiency, and regulatory complexity must be addressed with urgency. So there is much importance needed or much attention required for these problems. With that said, India stands at a unique inflection point with its scale, talent, and established DPI foundations like UPI, DigiLocker, and other. The country can pioneer an inclusive and ethical model for AI-enabled governance, a model that not only ensures efficiency but also upholds equity, transparency, and public trust. So let us remember this is my final word. Technology alone cannot transform governance. It is the alignment of systems, people, and purpose that will shape a truly intelligent public sector for the future. Uh, Thank you for your time, attention, and reflection. Now, I welcome your questions or any comments or even critics. Okay, let's build AI-powered public sector that India deserves. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very
Over to you.
much, Dr. Kunal. And that is like that presentation actually gave us a lot of insights of what's actually is like happening in like the public sector organizations and like in India, and what kind of like how to say like tools, frameworks, and like available policies, and like how they want to improve. So we would like to proceed with the Q&A session, and we would like to ask you some kind of like questions which are relevant also to the
Okay.
presentation, like the key areas. So the first one is, what governance models and AI implementations are most effective in improving people, process efficiency, and decision-making accuracy in the public sector?
Yeah. That's a great question, Anne. See, in the Indian public sector context, the most effective governance model is a human in the loop, data informed approach, where AI supports but doesn't replace decision makers. So I want to give three key elements make it works. The first one for the people: train officers with the tools like AI Kosha and assign data stewards to manage access and complaints. When staff are confident using AI, productivity naturally improves. And second one for process efficiency: plug AI into digital public infrastructure like Aadhaar for eKYC, DigiLocker for documents, and UPI for payments. So this enables full workflows like verify. I already said verify, fetch, decide, pay, notify. It saves time, reduces errors, and ensures traceability. And third one, decision making accuracy. For decision making accuracy, the use of AI for triage, summarization, and anomaly detection, not for final judgment. I want to say again, not for final judgment. That way, the human focus on complex cases while AI speeds up to the rest. Tools must be transparent and auditable to build trust and stand up to RTI or audits. So, in short, I want to say this: combine ethical guardrails, skilled trains, and DPI integration, and you get faster, fairer, and smarter governance.
Okay, thank you very much for that great insight. And our next question, and we would appreciate if you can briefly respond. How can AI-driven solutions be strategically leveraged to enhance citizen engagement and public service delivery?
See, AI can enhance citizen engagement and service delivery when it is used to make interaction simpler, faster, and more inclusive. So, first, I can give some of the points like personalized communication by using the Bashini and the faster grievance redressal, then proactive service delivery with the DPI and AI combined, then real time feedback loops like a sentiment analysis and chatbots can collect and flag public feedbacks instantly, helping department course correct quickly. So AI helps the government shift from reactive to responsive, from citizen chasing services to services reaching to the citizens. So this is my what suggestions.
Okay, that's great because the involvement is very crucial, and we'd now like to proceed with our next question, which is also related to how the public service delivery can be enhanced. So, how can the government of India and state-owned enterprises strategically prioritize AI regulation to balance innovation with ethical, legal, and societal considerations?
Yes. The government of India and state-owned enterprise can prioritize AI regulation by following compliance by design approach, where ethical and legal safeguards are built into a system from day one, not added later. So they can follow three steps. First one, they have to start with the DPDP Act regulation. So they have to bring regulation or policy for maintaining a data inventory, define who can access the data, and who can if what happens if somebody breach this regulation. So everything has to be uh, set up in early. And next one, adapt to human in the loop governance. So for just for critical decisions like eligibility or penalties or inspection, ensure there is always human reviewer or even if AI assist, the keeper of public accountability intact. So there is a need of accountability. And the third one, institutionalize impact audits and risk assessment. So before deploying any AI models, especially in the citizen-facing areas, mandate bias testings and traceability logs and fairness reviews, similar to what the India AI mission and GPA declaration recommend. So by doing this, the government does not have to slow down innovation. It simply guides it with the guardrails and protect rights, build trust, and ensure a serve the public good.
Okay. Thank you very much for those great insights. And as we are aware, digital technologies rapidly evolve, and the digital gap poses a growing challenge within also our APO member countries and also globally. So, with now ending this session, we would now like to ask for your comments, and then our viewers, how can they move forward in their own community, and how can they actually take all this great insight into action. So may I kindly invite you to actually have some brief, how do you say, maybe remarks or message to our viewers before we end the session.
Yes. This is my personal opinion. We know that artificial intelligence gaining more and more importance recent days, and particularly in India, there is a question of whether we have to adopt artificial intelligence in service sector or in the manufacturing sector. So it is a double-edged sword. Like artificial implementation of artificial intelligence is double-edged sword. There is a good side also. There is a negative side also is there. Uh, so this negative side of the AI implementation are restricting India in the adoption of AI in the, for public service delivery. So my suggestion, train people, upskill the people, aware about what AI can do and what AI can't do. So there is a need of involvement of human with artificial intelligence. We cannot blame the innovation in artificial intelligence or any technology. So we have to evolve with it and we have to adapt it. So this is the one only one solution for us.
Okay. This is really a very informative session, and we would like to our viewers to also continue learning more about AI and how like its impact in the like academia, industry, and government. So how not only for the public sector, but how it can give impact to the society and the community itself, and then boosting productivity. So with that, we would like to close for this APO productivity talk today. We would like to ask our viewers to actually like our channel, and also please subscribe, and also please look out for the next productivity talk. And we would like to thank Dr. Abhinandan Kulal
Thank you.
for this great session. Thank you so much, sir, and have a wonderful day to
Thank
our
you.
viewers and
Thank you.
yourself.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.